Hello, ma'am. Did you enjoy your meal?
Oh yeah, it was great.
That'll be $56.99.
What? I have to pay?
Of course. That's a pretty natural consequence of eating at a restaurant.
Well, I can't afford that. Besides, it's my money and it's my choice how I choose to spend it.
Yeah, you're right. It was your choice to walk into this restaurant, and then it was your choice to order this expensive meal. Your choice is over now. Now it's time to pay up.
I can't believe you're forcing people to buy the food at your restaurant.
Nobody forced you to come into this restaurant. You know that it costs money to eat at restaurants. I don't know why we're acting like we were born yesterday. Actions have consequences. That will be $56.99.
This is a violation of my human rights. My money, my choice.
Okay, so if y'all are gonna call women birthing people, are you gonna call men people fertilizers? Just wondering.
What I like to compare it to is love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you have asked, how did you become the VP of the United States of America? And it's easy. I compared it to a verse, Ephesians 3:14. For this reason, I kneel. Hey, Willie. Hey, Montel. Hey, Daddy. Thank you, Jesus.
Please enlighten me, what is feminism? Because feminism as I see it today definitely has nothing to do with equality. No, because modern day feminism is about shout your abortion, let's hate all men for no reason, and somehow having hairy armpits and being sexually promiscuous is now an example of female empowerment. And let's not forget the fact that so-called feminists love to bully and condemn women who disagree with them. Because it's believe all women and girls supporting girls unless she dares to disagree.
I'm not a feminist. I can see men and I don't immediately feel threatened. I'm not a feminist. And then people ask me if I'm actually a woman. I'm not a feminist. I can wear dresses and feel pretty. I'm not a feminist. Thank you. I'm not a feminist. I don't hate children. I'm not a feminist. I would watch this video and I wouldn't be offended. I'm not a feminist. I can actually cook.
More women are openly pushing back against the feminist dogma, which is all over social media. The best ones, as you saw, used humor and mocked it, which drives the feminists even crazier. Because when a woman criticizes the agenda, they can't call her a sexist or a misogynist or any other label the cult uses to silence anyone who speaks out against it. The feminist small brain short circuits when they get made fun of, making it even more entertaining. Just like the lady in the video who drew off the ire of the Jezebels. Now, if she really wasn't a feminist, she'd be in a long-term relationship or marriage, but you can't expect stay-at-home moms who are too busy catering to their husbands or raising a family to also be on social media fighting feminism. Traditional men don't want their women to be on social media, so someone has to do it. Let's see what the comments say. Top comment with 37,000 likes claims, I'm not a feminist, I don't know what feminism is. That's what feminists say when women rebuttal them. They claim these women don't know what feminism is. They project because they themselves don't know that the man-hating women who birthed the feminist agenda were anti-nuclear family and outright communists. A simp comments, I'm not a feminist, I'm an idiot. More like the simps and male feminist allies are the idiots. They're fighting for their own destruction so they can get laid. There's nothing sadder than a simp trying to appease the ugliest demographic of women. Another comment with 76,000 likes. You're definitely not a feminist, cause you don't know what it means. According to a peer-reviewed study, with citations, this is the goal of feminism, a pawn to a fascist agenda. In the 1970s, what Marx and the Engels satirized as the most infamous proposal of the communists, the abolition of the family, becomes the most scandalous demand of feminists. Ever since then, numerous US feminists have tried to walk it back. Another feminist comment, I'm not a feminist, I crave male validation and want them all to pick me. Majority of feminists cry themselves to sleep for the rest of their lives, single, because no man of value that they truly respect will ever commit to them.
This is so wrong for so many reasons. It's not just that they've both been playing professional basketball for...
I was just gonna keep scrolling, but then I saw your description. You said not to come at you with the whole the NBA makes more money. But that's literally how it works. But to prove to you that this isn't sexism, I will give you an example involving two men. This is Robert Downey Jr. He plays Iron Man. We all know this. He, for many, many years, was the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he made a lot of money while he did it. This is Stephen Amell. He plays the Green Arrow on the CW. He also was basically the face of his own superhero franchise. CW had a lot of TV shows and they all shared the same universe, and it was actually called the Arrowverse, so you know he was the face of it. Guess who made more money? Robert did. Because the MCU was much more profitable than the Arrowverse was. It has a bigger audience, it's on a bigger scale. Your paycheck is going to reflect the profit of the company you're working for. They can't pay you money they don't have.
And to add to that, the whole WNBA is funded by the NBA, meaning without the men's players' money, which they have no say where it goes, the WNBA would have closed the same year it started. As for the 20 plus years it's been in business, it has never been profitable. Top comment states, the WNBA literally loses money, LOL. And someone responded to it, the NBA loses $8 million a year so the WNBA can play. That extra $8 million could pay another bench warmer per NBA team. But that opportunity to be on an NBA team vanished so entitled women can play a level of basketball that's worse than male high school teams. Another commenter points out, the players of the WNBA actually get paid a higher percentage of the profits than the players of the NBA. This is one of the reasons why the WNBA never turned out a profit, because these women demand more money despite playing in empty Division II basketball arenas. A woman finally commented, I never saw anyone wearing a WNBA shirt, hat, or any merch. I don't know anyone that has even gone to a game. That's not the case with the NBA. Ironically, the biggest fans of the WNBA are not women, especially the feminists who cry about equal pay, but older men, like fathers who have daughters playing basketball. Before Kobe died, he was helping his daughter become a WNBA player, which would have brought more attention to the game. But feminists tried to tear down his historic career by supporting a false accusation.
Oh, yeah. No, I love how masculine my husband is, and he just makes all the decisions. And, you know, women are so indecisive. Even, like, I will second guess every stupid decision I make, whether it's like, what should I eat? It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll have that. It's so stupid. And he just makes the decisions. It makes it so much better. And even if I disagree with it, it's like, no, you vowed to submit to me, so you're going to trust my decisions. And I've honestly never been happier and more fulfilled. I haven't eaten meat since I was like 8, and he forces me to eat meat. I just find it disgusting. And so he told me the other day, he's like, you've had meat a couple of times, but like, I don't want you just to eat meat sometimes. You're going to love meat because it's good for you. And deep down, I'm like, ugh, like that's scary to me. But he's like, it's food, get over it. And you're growing my baby inside of you. So I want you to be healthy for our baby.
Not everyone who doesn't eat meat are raging vegans. Some people legitimately don't like meat and can't stomach it. However, meat is one of the best forms of nutrition a person can get. And she understands her baby needs that nutrition because people cannot get it from only fruits and vegetables. Hence why vegans look malnourished and go crazy. There are plenty of kids starving to death because their vegan feminist mom refused to give them meat. As a person would need to eat theoretically much more plants to get a close nutritional value from meat. This is why herbivores are fat and eat all day. It's oversimplified, so you get the point. Top comment says, I can agree with this. I was a radical vegan for 5 years until I met my current partner and we're having a baby. He said the same thing about you're growing our baby inside of you. I want you to eat meat. I respect how your husband takes charge of the decisions but takes such good care of you. It's easier to have one person making the decisions. That's why companies have one CEO. Another woman agrees. Truth. I'm so indecisive. Yes, let the man lead. Women respond positively to dominance. It's just that most men aren't masculine enough to lay down the law, or they pick feral women, or both.
Something that women say to me all the time. Why don't you make your husband a sandwich? Okay. Is he hungry? Does he want a sandwich? Like, did he say something? I make my husband food. The last 4 nights, I made my husband dinner. Like, I don't understand this weird maker. Like, they're trying to shame women for taking care of their families. Like, That is another element of feminism that I cannot stand. It's an attack on family and these things that work. It works.
Right.
Men are biologically unable to have children. So the aspiration to climb a ladder forever, to wake up every single day and not have to worry about being pregnant for 9 months, I mean, that makes sense. We're different creatures, you know?
I think that's like a troll, though. No, it's like all you're good for is like, yo, make me something to eat.
No, that whole concept came from rabid feminists. Like there was something wrong with being in the kitchen, right?
Oh, okay.
And this was sort of this push of women get out of the home and go to work, which has made so many women miserable. So many women miserable.
Besides calling non-feminists pick-me's, this is one of the most common insults feminists use. As if a woman who took a commitment to take care of her man is a bad thing or degrades her. Let's do the math. A stay-at-home wife makes sandwich for her man, which takes less than 10 minutes, is a much better deal than having to work an 8-hour day. These feminists, when diminishing stay-at-home wives, usually leave out the part where the man took an oath to take on the financial burden of working a hard, tough job and endure the stress, which often shortens his life. Those coal miners who power the Teslas feminists love to drive live to their mid-50s because they usually die of lung cancer after spending over 20 years working 5 days a week underground. Top commenter says, I love cooking food for my husband and kids. Cooking 3 times a day is 3 hours at most, compared to working 8 hours. A feminist finally comments, probably because that statement is extremely common for men to say to women to belittle them. That's why feminists use that reference. So, feminists use the same insult that belittles women on other women? Aren't they supposed to be pro-women? Make it make sense. A gay man comments, her poor baby is going to be groomed and indoctrinated into becoming a Christian Republican from the day it's born. But watch her attack trans youth. That's pure projection. The LGBTQ+ feminist youth are the most indoctrinated kids out there. They can live in the city that has shit on the streets and will still vote for feminism.
How does what a trans person does have any negative impact on your life? It doesn't move on, spread love. See, it shouldn't. I don't have issues with individual people unless they bring an issue before me and make me deal with it. What I do have an issue with is an apparent agenda fixated on singling out children and speaking to them about sexuality and gender identity without their parents' consent or awareness, as well as the invasion of privacy and safety that we're seeing women have to go through and deal with in order to appease the emotions and feelings of a very specific group of people. And this group of people is an even more specific group of men. Just to clear that up. I never had an issue with the transgender community until male police officers were allowed to identify as women and then strip search females. Or full-grown post-puberty men were allowed to just drop their pants in a women's college locker room and walk around like it was just another Tuesday. Or children were encouraged to join an after-school art club that actually turned out to be an opportunity for a man dressed as a woman to talk to these children without boundaries and encourage these kids to keep their secret from their parents. And it took a year for parents to figure out that this was not an art club.
It's weird how feminist ideologies has led to the most vulnerable part of society, women and children getting violated by the peoples feminists claim to be fighting against. Feminism attracts and fosters the societal rejects. Think of it as the avengers of losers, because a matriarchal society doesn't know how to keep order and civility. It'll just appease and foster to keep the peace, which works short term. What type of coward would pretend to be a woman to beat women in sports? Someone raised by feminists, who was given a participation trophy when they failed to beat men. The worst degenerates of society, predators, now have cover because of feminism, to prey on kids because not only are there more single moms, but also because feminists don't believe in biology. They claim it's just a social construct, meaning anyone can claim anything. One of the top comments said, "The trans community wants to use my children as emotional support animals to coddle their delusions. Wouldn't have said anything if they would back off." That's the very least of what they want with kids. Another comment said, "How did we go from all men are dangerous to let's let people with dicks into women's bathrooms and locker rooms? Because feminists want to be men." A chick responded to the comment, "How did we go from the guy at the gym is ogling me to the guy in the locker room can get naked in front of underage girls? It's nuts." Because of feminism. Former feminist commented, "You do you, just leave my kids alone. I was an advocate for a long time until they started trying to force it on my kids. That was the concept in Nazi Germany. They came for people I didn't like. I didn't say anything because I didn't like them. Then they came for my neighbor and I kept quiet because it wasn't me. And then they came for me when there was no one else left to defend me.
If you hate playing make-believe, I hope you don't have any plans to visit Ireland soon. They've created an anti-hate speech bill that would throw you in prison for up to 5 years if you're caught misgendering someone. This is known as the Criminal Justice Incitement to Violence or Hatred and Hate Offences Bill 2022, and Irish Parliament has received 110 votes for it and only 14 votes against it. Section 7 of the bill specifically makes it a criminal offense for someone to communicate anything in a public place that could be construed as inciting violence or hatred against someone with gender dysphoria. We've got Section 10 of the bill that makes it illegal to possess material that is likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or a group of persons. Just by having literature, articles, or podcasts that in any way questions the LGBTQ agenda, that's strictly prohibited, and you're going to jail. Ireland today, but America tomorrow. Do you see how quickly this is happening? Have you walked into a Target lately? We cannot let a bill like this pass in our country. I'm asking you to stop standing on the sidelines and get loud, get obnoxious. We don't have much time left.
When feminism has taken over most of society, it leads to a dictatorship. This is why it's important for women to speak out against it, because the new generation are raised by single moms and social media. They're the most alien to human experience so far. Only cyborgs and transhumanists will be less human. If all they see are raging feminists and their deadbeat moms, if they're females, they'll model their behavior after those nuts. And if they're male, they'll most likely learn how to simp and placate to women. One of the top comments, "What the fruck is happening?" Women voting, that's what's happening. Feminism taking over society. Why is this happening all over the Western world at the same time? Something sinister is orchestrating this. Is an agenda which was implemented by the feminist foot soldiers. The only country that can stand in the way of this is America, which has the First Amendment and, more importantly, armed citizens. This is why feminists are actually trying to disarm Americans. Another commenter points out, most of the woke big tech companies bank their money in Ireland as a tax haven. The price they paid is freedom. A lot of companies use Ireland as a tax loophole if they can open up an office there. And that's the exact reason why corporations push feminism, not just to increase the supply of the labor pool so they can pay less per worker, but also because they can control people easier. A nuclear family unit is more durable than a single person, especially single moms who have to do everything just to squeak by.
As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.